This week in Sharia Talmud, we were dealing with Kiddushin Tav Gimel Amud Beis. The Gemara says like this: Kesef Menarle. Where do we know Kesef from? If it's Su, V'had Tanan, Ha'av Zoche B'Beito, V'Kiddushin B'Kesef, V'Shtaru B'Biyah. Where do we know the din that a married woman can get married by Kesef, and where do we know that if a man marries off his daughter, that he's the one who gets the money? So the Gemara says, Am Reb Yehuda Am Rav. We learn from a pasuk. It says, "V'yotze chinam ve'en kesef." That's a pasuk that's talking about a girl who was married off as a slave, and when she reaches puberty, she goes out free. It says, "Yotze chinam ve'en kesef," and there's no kesef. Her master does not get paid. So what does the Gemara say about that? Ein kesef la'adon zeh. You're right. It's true. This master doesn't get paid. Avayesh kesef la'adon acher. But there is another master that gets paid. Who is that? Maninhu Av. That's talking about the father. Gemara continues and says, Ema lidida. What are you talking about, her father? I'll say that the money goes to her. You want to make a diuk there, an inference. So basically what do? We made an inference off of a pasuk. The pasuk said, Vayotze chinam ve'en kesef. And we made a diuk from one master to another master. Ein kesef la'adon zeh. This master of this slave girl does not get the kesef, and we make a diuk to another master. Avayesh kesef ladon acher. And who is that? That's the father. So when the one who said now, when the Gemara continued and said, maybe she gets it, he says, listen, who says that diuk is a good diuk? You want to make a diuk from one master to another master? I'll just tell you this. Maybe it's a different diuk. And Rashi actually provides a diuk for us. If you look in the Rashi, he says, "Ve'emel yidam, v'havi hay kesef." This kesef, who does it go to? I'll say that the kesef goes to her. Why? Dahad lo kesiv ein lo kesef, v'tiduk mine ein kesef ladon zeh. It doesn't say the word lo. It doesn't say he doesn't get kesef, and therefore the diuk may not be a good diuk. You're going to say he doesn't get the kesef. There's another man who does get the kesef. I'll learn a different way. You can learn a different inference. Ein kesef b'yitzia zu, avayez kesef b'asiyah cheres, v'le'alam lididei have. I'll make a different inference. I'll say that there's no kesef in this going out. She's going out of the master's house. I'll make an inference that when she goes out from the master's house, who's the slave owner, there's no money being paid to the slave owner. But when she goes out from her father's house, well, there is money being paid. Who's the money being paid to? To her. Make the diuk like that. It seems to be that Rashi actually is learning the pasuk like that. You could say that maybe not. No. When the Gemara just said, who says? In other words, in order to knock out a position, you don't have to say an alternative. All you have to say is that your position is no good. Your inference is no good. It's not mukrak. It's not logically sound. I'll make a different inference. I don't have to hold by the different inference, but it appears that actually Rashi is holding by the different inference. So comes along Tosfos, and Tosfos says, Ve'emel yida, ve'im toma, I have a kasha now. Ha'al korcha lo itzrikra el lomer shehem la'av. It appears, Peshat in the simple Peshat in the Gemara, is the pasuk has to be coming to tell us one thing and one thing only. It's coming to tell us that the money goes to the Av. Why is that true? Because we already know the din of kesef when a woman gets married, that she gets money. We know it from Kika of Ste'efron. So it has to be that this pasuk is coming to tell me that the money goes to the father. The problem with Tosfos is asking, but you have a Gemara saying Ve'emel yida. Maybe the pasuk is talking about her, but Tosfos' kasha is, well, that's Peshita. If you know that a woman who gets married gets kesef, so you know also an Ara who gets married gets kesef. They're the same thing. She's not a katana. She's not a little girl. She's between 12 and 12 and a half, but once she's 12, why doesn't she get the money? And we know that already from Kika of Ste'efron. So how can it's possibility that we have a position in the Gemara that's saying, Em Ligida, maybe the money goes to her? And if we will learn the way Rashi's learning, well, we actually are making a diuk from that pasuk, and we're actually learning that it goes to her. Tosfos doesn't understand. We already know that. It's Peshita. Tosfos comes along and answers and says, nevertheless, Makom makom, v'yutaris lo ne'amar, shehem sha'av im ein mashmus dekra. We're not going to say that the pasuk is being learned to the father if it's not mashma from the cry. We can't infer it with a strong diuk from the pasuk. In other words, Tosfos is saying the position. It says ve'em ledida doesn't really hold that there's a diuk, a proof that it goes to her. He's just saying that I disagree with your way of understanding. I don't like the way you're learning. Why? Because you want to make a diuk from one adon to another adon. Who says your diuk is not sound? It appears that there's a machlokas Rashi and Tosfos here. Why? Because according to the Maskana in Tosfos, where he's answering that the Eimud Yidah doesn't really have a position. It's just saying, listen, I don't like your position, but they're not actually learning from the Tosfos. One way to answer that kasha on Rashi is saying that Rashi really doesn't hold the position either. Rashi is just saying that you could make another diuk, and therefore the original diuk is not good. It appears that the Perek Shiur is holding that Rashi is actually making the diuk. And therefore, how does he answer? Because according to Tosfos, there's no way to say that the pasuk is talking about a simple limud teaching that kesef works by a woman. Can't be, that's Peshita. The Perek Shiur wants to answer and say, the Rav Yehuda Amarav, that position does not hold from kikachicha. If that position doesn't hold from kikachicha, so then you can learn the pasuk in two different ways. You can either learn it from, you can make the diuk either adon la adon, or you can make the diuk yitzil mitzia. And he answers the kasha of Tosfos.